Hey everybody, this is Perch. Now this video is about limited series, and it's about just something I find really aggravating and stupid. But there's also some news in here, so I'll talk about the news, and you'll see how it relates to this stuff. And the place I'm going to lead off is that Marvel is putting out a brand new Loki #1. So I mean, who could have seen this coming? Well, we're going to have Loki season 2 here in a few months in the summer. So we're doing a Loki comic book series, but it is a limited series because everything everything is a limited series these days. This will be a 4-issue limited series, and it's kind of what I want to talk about. But they're putting this out. It's going to be written by Dan Waters, who will be debuting at Marvel, along with Jermaine Peralta. And the basic solicitation goes like this. It says, "This is the newest adventure of the recently ordained god of stories, who will introduce a collection of ancient Norse weapons." Sorry, you know what? I screwed it up. It says, "The newest adventure of the recently ordained god of stories will introduce a collection of ancient Norse weapons Loki forged in his past, including a weapon that curses the Marvel Universe. And he must track it down before the weapons fall into the wrong hands. Throughout his twisting journey, it will take him to Netelvir, Kree Space, and Earth. Loki will go head to head with iconic Marvel villains, provoke Earth's mightiest heroes, and be forced to confront the dark truth that lies at his center." I mean, in effect, what we've got here is this is a Loki did something bad once upon a time, had some weapons. Weapons got out. Now Loki is going to go chase them down to kind of right the wrongs of his past, but also will be reminded of kind of his darker nature, and maybe he does want to curse the Marvel universe. It's one of we've seen this story before, but it's one of those could be told well. I mean, I'm not casting judgment on it that way, but this will come out in June, so on June 7th. It's one of these comics in the future that we're starting to solicit to. The writer says, "It's hard to say what a delight it is to be making my Marvel debut, even more so doing it with the god of stories himself, taking him all the way around the Marvel universe and back again." Waters says in Marvel's announcement, "I can't wait for all to see the beauty of Jermaine's art. Is breathtaking into this tale, I have to tell you, full of magic, danger, and if Loki can't help himself, he can't. Quite a smidge of mischief." Um, okay. And then, the cover features kind of Loki and some of his variants, because now that we're, or at least other forms that we've had of Loki over the years, we're getting kind of the, I don't know, 20s millennial Loki. This is the Loki that drinks craft beer and, has a favorite coffee shop. It's kind of where we're out. The thing that I wanted to pull away from here, and it could be a good comic, could be a good story. It's 4 issues. This is a 4-issue limited series that we're getting for Loki. And if you're looking at Marvel solicits and you're looking at the titles that they're producing and they're putting out, it's all 4 issues. So remember when I used to make fun of, and I still kind of want to, Marvel going to 5-issue series. We used to get 6-issue arcs because that fit into the trade nicely. And then somebody at Marvel's like, well, shit, we can just charge the same price for a trade paperback and just have 5 issues in there. And then we'll put some of the script, we'll put some back matter in there to fill out the pages. And then the other good news is we can only pay the creative team for 5 issues. It's a win-win-win, as they say. Marvel, the House of Ideas, is taking it one step further, and we're going to 4-issue series, which in some ways makes me feel a little nostalgic because, 4-issue limited series is how it used to be back in the 80s. That was everything was a 4-issue limited series. X-Men Avengers and X-Men Fantastic Four, Long Shot. I mean, like all these comics used to be 4-issue limited series. So it's kind of, there's something kind of charming to that. I'll say that. But it's none of this is good. And then when I hear this story, like, look, let's just be realistic about it. Whether this is an amazing writer who does really good in his Marvel debut or not, this is said to be a big sprawling story where Loki is going to, traverse the Marvel universe, meet epic, villains and antagonize heroes and go through a journey of kind of self-discovery in the process in 4 issues. Like, I mean, on one level, I'm like, okay, we're getting rid of decompression. Let's go. But I have doubts in the current Marvel storytelling method and how the comics come out that we're going to get 4 action-packed, every page is critical kind of, comics. I feel like, the story naturally suffers by being smaller when it's crammed into that space. I mean, let's put it this way. If you were to tell a story about, on an independent comic level, something that was produced by Skybound, for example, and the idea was that there's a villain who's kind of reformed a little bit, but in his past creates some evil weapons, and now they're out there, and the villain feels like he has to go clean up his mess. I mean, Kirkman would make 100 issues out of that, and they wouldn't feel decompressed. It would just feel like a big adventure. So I don't know. I mean, but bigger than that, Marvel going to 4 issues for everything, that doesn't seem good. Just elephant in the room. That doesn't feel like that. This does not feel like a good idea. It feels like another kind of obvious step in an overall softening of the business. Full stop. And then, here's the other kind of thing that bugs me a little bit. So there's an event that's running. Which one, you might say? Well, this is the Captain America one called Cold War. And it's Captain Falcon and Captain Steve are in this crossover. It's going to have the White Wolf and Bucky, who's got a new job as the New Revolution. And this, in Dimension Z, it's going to tap into some Remender stuff without actually giving Remender any credit for it. The usuals. But here's the part that gets me. Okay, so it's a relatively short, in Marvel terms, relatively small event. I think it's got 6 issues in an aftermath, 7 issues total for this event. So we get to Cold War Part 5. Okay. And I want to just read you this solicitation. See if you can figure out the part that irks me here. Guest artist Alina Arofeva joins Kelly and Lansing for the penultimate chapter of Cold War. And then I'm not going to read the rest because it's in that first sentence. Guest artist. What the hell? It's 6 issues plus an epilogue, an aftermath. Guest artist. First of all, this is Captain America issue 13. I don't know Alina Arofeva, but let's assume Alina is great. I'm not knocking against her. I'm assuming her. But there's an event that just has 6 issues in it, and we're doing guest artists? What? It's absurd. And then we get to Captain America Cold War Omega, and this is all 3 Captain America scribes. This is the Lansing, Kelly, and our Sam Wilson Captain America writer. It says they team up with superstar artist Carlos Magno. Okay, a different artist. And then we get to the epilogue, or the aftermath issue. And here we get, are you ready for this? Join Onibuki. I'm killing that name. I'm sorry. Tochi Onyabuchi. And guest artist, Z Carlos. What the hell? The last 3 issues of this, 2 guest artists? What is going on here? It's not the biggest deal in the world, but if you're looking at Marvel and you're like, okay, so we went from 6 issues to 5 issues to 4 issues in your series. So meaning you're only contracting, you're only paying for 4 issues at a time now. All right. And then we have this event, and Marvel, we love our events. And it's guest artists. What and how? I do not get this at all. I was looking through the solicitations, and it's like, what's all this guest artists in? You're in the middle of an event. I mean, it's a relatively short event, and you're promoting guest artists. I don't know. Maybe I'm making too big a deal out of it. Am I? Let me know in the comments below. 4 issues, guest artists. Any of this seem good to you? Not me, but who knows? Thanks for listening.